Ladies, welcome to week 4 of the Unleash program. Isn't it crazy how fast time flies? Like it's already been 4 weeks. That is crazy, or 3 weeks, I guess. We're moving into week number 4. I will tell you that the past year, I have really realized how fast time goes. I turned 44, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is moving at the speed of lightning. And the speed at which I am moving these days, a big piece of that is correlated back to the fact that I can see how fast time is moving, and I can also see how much more work I want to do in this world, what the legacy is that I want to leave behind. I feel so strongly that I'm just getting started. We've covered a lot of ground in the past 12 weeks, and I want to emphasize the importance of doing as much self-reflection as you can right now. The questions in the forums are designed for you to have additional breakthroughs and realizations outside of our weekly calls, and I can't emphasize enough the importance of setting time aside to reflect and journal. I know for me, what's been most helpful for me is just to have time where it doesn't feel like a task, where I have the freedom to explore, knowing that everything I want is sitting on the other side of this. And you really truly have to trust the process, that what we've done, the groundwork that we've laid in the first 4 weeks really is the foundation that everything else is going to be built upon. And everything that you want is sitting on the other side of the realizations that you're going to have. So if you can stay in it, if you can find time where you can go back and watch the recordings, go to the forums and journal and think and find examples and catch your own patterns and realize what you want to let go of and what you want to carry moving forward, it is going to serve you so incredibly well. So maybe you just book time after our call, to maybe you just book 1 hour, and whether it's immediately after, it's a day after, 2 days after, just to, once you get, that form, you sit down and to be able to really think and reflect. This is the only way that we can accurately move forward and create a roadmap, a blueprint, if you will, that's aligned to you, who you are at your core, before the world told us who we're supposed to be, right? I've been on this journey myself, and I understand what it's like to finally see yourself. I was a stranger to myself for so many years because what I was doing was keeping myself alive, A, and B, I was running off of somebody else's definition of success. But now we have new information, and we can apply that new information to our current life. And the beautiful part is we get to decide. We get to decide what we want to carry with us, what we want to leave behind, and what we want in this next season of our life. I promise you, stay in this. Everything you want is waiting on the other side of the work that we have just done. The bulk of it is done. So please use these forms, answer the prompts that have been emailed out to you, even for this week's session for Wednesday. There was a couple additional questions that I put in that last email. All right, back to speed. Success loves speed. And that's the other reason why I move so fast, is I know that if I'm going to figure it out, I gotta take action. Success loves speed. That's a big secret to building momentum, is just continuing to move in the direction. And I want you to think about right now the amount of time it takes for you to take action from the time that you have the idea or the realization. So the time that you're like, oh man, I need to make this change, or oh man, I need to start going to the gym, or from the time you recognize that you need to do it to the time that you actually take action, what is that period of time for you? We want to start condensing that period as we want it to be, almost immediate. I had an accountability partner in Australia for the past year, and it's just I just thought it was her. But then the more interactions I have with people, most people, when they have the proximity that you guys do now, I'm purposely telling you what the things are that I'm working on. A lot of you that, we have conversations, or I mentioned something in these weekly trainings, like if I'm talking about it, it's an idea, and it's amazing how much gets done in the next week's time. So you want to get to that point too, where you are just moving and figuring it out. I've had 3 people come to me in the last 4 weeks in the DMs, or people that I know that want to pick my brain and talk about this idea that they have for their podcast. And every single one of them is like, "Oh my gosh, I've been wanting to do this for years, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years." When I ask them, "How many years have you been wanting to do this?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, just start the podcast. Like, just start tomorrow. Just start tomorrow, because I promise you, you are going to see so many things about yourself, and you're going to get so many new ideas once you step out on the path. The path becomes clear, and there's nothing you're going to lose. If you start the podcast and you change something about it, you're not going to lose anything. So we got to slow down on the planning and know when the right time is. Like, okay, I've planned enough, I got enough to step out on the path. Action creates clarity, and clarity creates results. I'll tell you another thing that was a hard pill for me to swallow. Somebody who grew up in a household where we saved every penny, and it was like, it was unheard of to see the savings account go this way. It takes money and time to figure things out. That is a fact, right? Millionaires spend tens of thousands of dollars to get there. Billionaires spend millions to get there, right? It's just the way that it is. So don't be afraid to spend the money. Spend your time, figure it out, just keep moving. And as you think about the 3 most important things that you need to do this week, I want you to challenge yourself on each one of them by asking, is this in my zone of genius? Is this getting me closer to my goals? And can I outsource this? Is this a task that I can outsource? Should I be outsourcing it? Right? Moving forward after this week, we're going to do a lot of sharing. I'm so excited for you all to get to know each other better, to share as much as you're comfortable with on Wednesday. This is how we learn. I've shared a lot of the revelations that I've had and what these exercises have helped me see in myself and the decisions that I've made. Now it's time for us to share as much as you're comfortable with on Wednesday. All right. So, past Wednesday, we're moving into activation, and we're going to start to create our success blueprint. So stay locked in, stay in it. This is the hardest part. You're doing amazing. I cannot wait to see you on Wednesday. If there's any questions that you have in the meantime, please send them in the chat.